morning, everybody. Hello, it's Brad.
And Christa.
With the Big Family Homestead. Yay! And welcome to Sunday Night Live. I got my explosion button back. I'm so happy. I know it's childish, but I don't even care.
No.
If you had an explosion button, you would love to use your explosion button at any time.
Yeah.
And every time you felt so desire to explosion on things.
Mm-hmm. I probably would too.
Explosions everywhere.
Maybe I should have some explosions for homeschooling. This is what Mom's brain is doing.
Boom.
Sorry, I just hit the mic.
Well, good evening, everybody. We are super excited to be here. Tonight is going to be a debut, a pilot, if you will, of we're going to try something new. We're going to try doing, I know, shock, gasp, good news stories as the main topic of the evening. Not doom and gloom and everything's on fire and it's yeah. And yeah. It's going to be good news, so hopefully. Mike DeFazio. Sorry, I saw his name and got excited. He's one of our moderators, along with Delaney B. Heck yeah, guys. Have we got a show for you?
Veggie
Tales. See, cute. Everybody knows that. Have we got a show for you?
It's awesome.
See, if you were a vegetable on Veggie Tales, what? You got, well, first of all, two-part question. Do you know the show Veggie Tales? Number one, you got to type.
You got to type. What?
If you know Veggie Tales, and then secondly, if you were on Veggie Tales, what kind of vegetable would you be? What's so funny about that? What would you be?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
I would be a pear because that's my shape.
That's not a vegetable, honey.
It's a shape. That's a veggie.
Not a vegetable.
Veggie Tales. So,
it's not a
Donna,
vegetable.
you can't just say yes. I've heard of it.
You gotta give us your vegetable.
You gotta give the dish. You gotta give the dish on what veggie or fruit you would be.
Please, no sour grapes.
No sour grapes. That'd be a cucumber. There you go. Veggie Tales. Tomato. Yeah. So what would you be, Mom? You'd be one of those little French peas. Like in the story of Jonah, they were always mocking and ridiculing people.
I'm Ma Grape.
Ma Grape.
Ma Grape.
Ma Grape. Larry Boy. There we go. Larry Boy. Yeah, you had what?
Because Ma Grape was old. And so I'm old.
Does that mean you'd be like fermented?
Yes.
Holy mackerel, folks.
Nope, just sour.
So... We're off track already.
We are way off the list.
So,
Veggie Tales didn't even come close to being on the list.
The broccoli. Kim would be broccoli. I'm catching, my eyes catching a gourd of some kind. Yes. Our gourd is an awesome
Stop
gourd.
that.
No.
Don't do that.
Wrong song.
Wrong song.
Wrong vegetable, wrong kingdom, phylum, class, species, and
yes.
Whatever. All of it. Anyway, so if you've come watching or come expecting to watch good news, there will be good news. We're just going to say hi and hang out for a little bit, do a recap. So if you're here to see the good news, just skip ahead. It's probably going to be another 5
That is
minutes.
if you're watching the replay. You can't skip ahead right now.
Skip ahead into the future. So for those of you
can't
who
do
have
that
a
right
future
now.
button, call me. I could really, really use a future button. And anybody else. So if you've got a future button, boy, oh boy, can we make some money. And second thing is, what would also be very helpful would be a transporter.
Who wins the Super Bowl?
A transporter device of some kind. So anyway.
And what's the spread on the
I don't want
point?
about
Point spread.
I'm not gambling.
No.
I'm not gambling.
Gamble. I just
want to know what fashion trends are going to happen 10 years from now, because daggone, I'm really ready to get rid of
nobody cares about that.
No, I'm ready to get rid of the spray-on clothing that people wear.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Oh, my
Somebody
goodness.
please, no more yoga pants for the love of... Anyway. Okay, so tomorrow is...
Beef Day.
Beef Day.
You have to say it like that. Beef Day.
Beef Day.
So... For the last year and a half, we have raised a cattle. We have raised a cow. It's not specific to what type of cow it was. It was just for beef. happened to be a female.
Kind. It was the bovine kind
It's
of
the
cow.
bovine kind of cow.
Yep.
Anyway, so we've been raising this cow, and we sent her off to the butcher last September.
Freezer camp.
Last September. It
sounds so
it's
far
really
ago.
aged. No, it was last month, is what I meant to say. And our friend over at the meat processing place called and said it's ready for pickup. Sweet. 403 pounds of beef.
Day.
Oh man.
It's actually a really good thing.
Yeah.
Because you guys don't understand, when you raise your own animals and you're, well, I was going to say, and you're smart about it, like there's implying that other people are dumb about it. No.
Right.
No, what I'm saying is that we try to get information from all our friends and we figure out ways to save money on the feed costs without hurting the animal.
Right.
And so when I say when you raise an animal wisely, it's just meaning we're trying to make sure they're as healthy as they can be,
Right.
but also save as much money as we can.
Right.
We paid all in, and we're going to do a video on this, but we're going to do a full-on video on this. All in, drum roll, please, mother. Or no, wait, I'll do the drum roll.
You do the drum roll. I'll give the amount. $320, which ends up being 79 cents ish a pound.
Yeah. And with the cost of the feed, we are looking at less than $1.
And at less than $1. And she got grain
A pound.
for a little while, so she's mostly grass fed. And so she had grass, she had hay, she had vegetables from the garden that we had an overabundance of. And Brutus is flipping out downstairs,
But
and
they
I have
can't
no
hear 'em.
idea. No, the kids are
That's what
downstairs.
it's probably because I went like this.
Probably. Yeah, no, but filling the freezer it feels so good, honestly.
Yeah. So beef day.
It's beef day.
Wait. I'll say I was going to do another explosion.
No, don't overdo
You can't overdo the
explosions.
explosions.
No, you can't overdo those.
And
So-
speaking of,
cows,
go ahead.
our cow Dottie, who we had bred 6.5 weeks ago, I believe she is pregnant because we have gone through 2 heat cycles with her. Well, not we. I've watched
You've been
her.
very patient.
I've
and loving.
been checking the calendar.
Thanks her a lot.
Stop. Watching the calendar, and she should have gone through 2 heat cycles, and she has not had any signs of heat at all. So we are fingers crossed, eyes crossed, legs crossed, knees crossed,
Whatever.
crossed. You name
Got
it.
it.
Got it.
Crisscross.
Crisscrossed.
They're going to make you jump.
I believe she's pregnant. So we'll find out. We're gonna probably get her preg checked in probably another month. You can have them preg checked after 2 months.
Yeah.
They can use a ultrasound machine and find out if they are pregnant.
She's double wide though. I'm telling
This
you right
cow,
now.
I tell you what, she is a wide cow.
Yeah.
And she doesn't get more grain than any other cow. She just she's just big. She's just big. And I don't know what the deal is with this thing.
S. Hodson, the quick answer to is Nana pregnant? Pregnant. Pregmentated. No, she's
not.
She is not.
No.
Which that's good because that gives us a little bit of a chance to be more prepared and proactive rather than what just happened.
Right. So she will come into heat probably in January, and so we'll
be ready then.
We'll be ready then, and we'll try and keep them separated, and then
You got to keep them separated. Oh, we're getting attacked, by the way.
yeah, we are.
It's crazy.
the
There's
Asian
flies, Asian beetles.
Well, and reason for the flies? It's hot outside, guys.
Unseasonably hot.
Unseasonably warm.
It was almost
What's today?
It was almost 80.
October 10th. I don't even know what today is. October 10th, and it was almost 80 degrees today.
Central Wisconsin, people.
Ridiculous. It should be practically 30 degrees
At night.
at night.
At
Maybe
night.
50 during the day, but
I'm not complaining except about them.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
they've been dive bombing me, so if I start gyrating and flailing my arms about, you'll know what happened. because they do it all the time. As a matter of fact, there's something we'll show you later that that's all I got to say about that. Okay, so moving on. We've been saving tons of money, not on insurance. It's the dogs, hon.
He's going nuts. It's crazy.
The dog is hearing the kids who are rearranging some freezers so that
right,
there
so that
can
there's
make
space
room for the beef.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and Brutus doesn't like that.
Yeah, Sister Amy, it is humid too. I don't like the humidity. 75 degrees is fine, but the humidity, not a fan.
So we have also been saving a ton of money, not on car insurance.
No.
But
chicken feed.
We have found the holy grail.
Smokes. I got to tell you folks, if you guys have any kind of dairy animal, you have a dairy animal.
Oh no, and you can do it without dairy.
I know you can, but this makes it even better.
Okay.
So if you guys have chickens, you can ferment their feed, and you can cut your cost of the feed
a lot
in half or more. Now we have 26 chickens and a couple of geese. Now the geese don't eat, they eat some of the chicken feed, but mostly they eat grass. But we feed them every other day.
And
because
they are happy and healthy.
Well, because we fill up their bowls and it lasts 2 days. And right now they're free ranging. And when they're not free ranging, then they will eat more. But it has cut our cost in half. I use our extra milk, and then I pour chicken feed in there and let it sit and let it ferment and do its thing and feed that to the chickens. And we used to use 2 scoops of dry feed through those big quart scoops.
Yeah, the farm feed store scoops.
Right, for all of those chickens. Now we use 1 every other day.
Yep.
So we've cut it down to a quarter.
And the way it works is this, guys, is that the animals' bodies take a lot of energy in breaking down the outer shells and hulls and all that kind of stuff, where if it flip-flops it when you ferment it. So think of it like an X. It used to be that they would get a smaller portion of their actual nutrition out of whatever they were being fed. And now, because it's already broken down a little bit because the fermentation process is breaking it down, then they get a lot more nutrition out of a smaller amount of food.
Right.
So they're not being deprived of any kind of nutrition. They're happy. They're running around. They're big as can be. We're getting lots and lots of eggs. But it does work. It works also with just plain water.
Yep.
Not as well as with the milk, but we have a glut of milk.
We have so much milk, yeah.
We have a glut of milk. So for us, why not use it on the chickens instead of wasting it?
Right. Sister Amy's asking, would it work for turkeys? Yes, it would work for turkeys as well.
Absolutely.
It's I can't wait until we have meat birds in the spring.
Oh my gosh, it's going to save us so much money.
Holy cow.
We're going to be able to raise meat birds so cheap.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No pun intended.
Cheap. Yeah. Funny.
Only costs us a few bucks.
Oh, bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah, yes, it does work with the pellet feed. It just breaks it down. It just kind of comes apart. Just comes apart. You can use it with the pellet feed. We have a layer mash that we get from our local feed store. And it's ground into a powder, and it has everything in it, including oyster shells. And the oyster shells, of course, don't absorb any of the liquid, but it's still in there, and they can eat it. They eat it. So.
And Phoebe is saying, and by the way, Phoebe, how's it going? Phoebe is saying probiotics too, and the answer is yes, absolutely. The fermentation process adds that into the feed that it would not have been there previously.
Right. There was another question. Can you use store-bought milk? I would not use store-bought milk because of the cost.
Yeah, it wouldn't be cost.
The reason we use our milk, the reason we use milk is because we have a dairy cow, and she gives us tons of milk. I mean, we can't even use all 3 gallons that she gives us per day.
Yeah.
So it works for us, but I wouldn't go and buy milk for that.
So
Just use water.
if you have chickens, there is a way you can save a lot of money. And you guys, here's the deal. This is the way it's going to work. So over the course of 6 months, write down all of the money you're saving. And then you're just going to write out a check for half of that and send it. No, I'm kidding. No, but
No.
It's an awesome blessing.
Right. But I have been keeping track of the feed we buy for all of the animals so that I can know, okay, well, this is how much we
What's
used.
it
And
really
this is
costing?
and this is how much it costs, and this is how much it went up, and yada yada and yippee skippy. But we purchased 150 pounds of chicken feed on September 13th. Well, guess what, folks? That was a month ago. And normally we would have gone through that entire not 55 gallon. It's a 30-gallon steel drum. We would have gone through all of that in a month. We've used about 4 inches off the top.
Not much at all.
This feed should probably last us most of the winter.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. So our cost has just gone down. And when winter comes, right now we're fermenting the feed in the barn. When winter comes, we'll just bring it and put it in the garage.
That's right. So Debbie is asking, can you tell a difference in the taste of the eggs?
Oh, they're so much better.
Maybe we should clarify between fermented and regular raw organic like we normally do. Like,
right. No,
I don't taste the difference in those two.
No, there's not a difference. They are free range chickens, and they do get the fermented feed, and that's just a bonus. I can definitely tell the difference when the chickens are cooped up and they're not getting enough bugs and stuff like that. But there's no difference in the taste.
Hold on one second. I just noticed that the Ware family is here, and they deserve a special hello. Yes, that's for you. They're friends of ours.
You should never be late to the party.
You give me the explosion buttons.
That's right.
I can't be held responsible for what happens.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I cannot. I cannot. So, okay, what about an update? Since you're the whole intro here. I love this. I can just sit back and press the explosion button.
I'm the
An
whole
update
intro.
on you got this.
Okay, fine.
What about an update on your health, babe?
This stuff is my wheelhouse, man. I love this stuff.
All right, I'll
I
talk
love this
later.
stuff. Okay,
I'll talk later.
You can talk
what
later.
about an update on your health?
I feel so much better. Thank you all so much for the prayers. I have a couple of small bumps still in my leg that I'm going to have the doctor check out this week. But there's no pain. It's great. I'm super happy. So that's all.
Yeah. But she's only telling you half the story.
What's the other half?
She's doing too much.
You made me take a nap today, so don't even start.
I did. And next time, it's duct tape for you if you don't. No, I'm kidding. You're getting the duct tape. She doesn't listen. So she is a terrible patient. A terrible patient.
You're worse.
Grumble, 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 grumble. And then she never does anything to get better.
I still feel like I need to be helping with the barn chores, and
tell me
Hope and I
about it.
change
Do
things
tell,
around.
hon.
She does more of it than I do. Stop it. Mocking me now.
I'm trying to make people understand you got to chill out.
Sorry,
She does.
as a mom, you can't.
That sounds like a total lame excuse to me. Because when you're sick, you're not going to get better unless you chill out.
I did chill out a lot. Just not as much as you wanted me to.
That is true. That is true. So, okay, one thing I can tell you about that we're going to come to at the very end, for you guys who have not, your powers of reasoning and deduction are really, really bad. You may notice that I might be a musician of some kind.
No.
If not, I've done music for a lot of my life.
Over there, you can kind of see the headstock on.
For those
all
of you who might be a little,
One,
from
2, 3, 4, 5.
maybe those of you from Rio Linda, California, might not know. Dingus.
Yep.
So, there will be a I've been working on some scripture songs, and they're based on Psalms. They're music like you'd like to listen to, but it's scripture instead of just, whatever lyrics about love, I love this girl, or I want this, or I want that. It's scripture. So hopefully you will enjoy that, because I'll play you another one at the end of the broadcast tonight. And if you're interested in hearing all of them that I've done, I'm almost done. There should be about 10 coming up real soon. I'm almost done with one more. For those of you guys go to the Bible devotion, you've heard this one. I'm just saying for folks who have not. So, but hopefully you'll like it. Hey now, Plum Tree Farm. I'm just quoting some great radio men. And we're going to talk about great radio men a little bit here in just a bit. But before we do, you want to talk about that, and then I'll pick up again?
Sure.
Okay.
So we had kind of thought about making up a holiday cookbook. And we would gather all of our favorite holiday recipes into one place, and finding fun ones.
Bunch of new ones. Ones that we haven't put in the cookbook.
Right. So it's not going to be a huge cookbook, because that would take months and months, and we would like to have it before the holidays. So.
Yeah.
Take requests.
Nice. Excuse me. So, well, there is one thing I do, a serious note. We have recently the sickness that's in the world right now that cannot be named, because if you name it, I have some.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't want to.
If you name it,
bad things happen to your social media.
Happen to you.
Your social media. If you name it, then bad things happen.
Yes.
So, but we all know what it is. It's struck our family. Christa and I both got it, and now we're antibody positive. But my dad, who is still in the hospital, he's got it, and he's getting a lot better. And so that and some friends of ours. Dan, you know who you are.
Yep.
Just wanted to say a real quick, or just take a moment rather for those of you guys who have had, been affected by that which shall not be named.
Right.
If you have and you want to post somebody's name up here, maybe you know somebody, we're going to say just the shortest of prayers. But in the meantime, if you want to type a name of somebody, maybe even yourself, if you've had it or you're concerned about somebody else, it might be a good time to go ahead and pop their name up there.
Yep.
So anyway, real quick prayer. Father God, you know who is in need, and that's all of us. We ask that you would be healer, and we ask that you would be with each and every person that's dealing directly with that illness and folks in the families. And we ask that you would just be God, be healer, and we thank you and we love you. Amen. All right. So let's talk. There's no real good way to put this, people. I've got to show you something. Don't say anything, but that's where we're going. That's where we're going.
Okay.
You got to see this, and then you'll understand, and you will have pity on me. You will most certainly have pity on me. Here, watch. So, I'm having a very hard time processing what I'm getting ready to show you guys, because pretty much threw up a little bit, and yeah, here's why. Yeah, that's what you think it is. And yes, if you're wondering, it went into my mouth. I've already had brushed and hydrogen peroxide, and so yeah. That was not a fun awareness, let's just say. So, yeah, it did really happen. It really, 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 really happened.
Yeah.
And I told the kids, and they, I think it affected Caleb the most.
I wasn't here when it happened.
It affected Caleb the most.
Did he get...
Oh, you guys couldn't tell what it was?
It was a fly.
It was a fly. That's why I'm so angry at these people.
Yeah.
These little, these flying things.
No.
They
It'd be
make my
nice if it
brain
was a watermelon
glitch.
seed, but no. It was a
No,
fly.
it was not a bad raisin, Mike. No. Oh, man. It was not a beetle. It was a fly.
It was yeah. Blech.
And
It's
you know what's
gross.
the worst? Is that that was my last swig of coffee. That was my very last swig of coffee. And I thought, I'm just going to finish this up. I'll go downstairs and then I will get to work on something else, right? And the second I felt it in my mouth, I knew exactly what it was. It's funny. You can laugh.
I was being scolded for laughing.
By who?
I'm not really scolded, but shame on you for laughing at your husband.
It is funny. It's gross. But the thing is that what are you going to do? How do you know? I mean, it was coffee.
Right.
It's not like you're like, oh, what is that in my milk?
Right. Blech.
No.
No.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the scoop. We have been, or I have been, and we have been wanting so badly to hear some good news because there's so much bad news out there. It's just ridiculous. And like I said last week, radio guys, I miss Paul Harvey. And that's the rest of the story. Good day. You know, Paul Harvey, if you don't know who Paul Harvey was, he's passed on since, but he was a radio guy. He did AM radio, and he would bring out the most awesome stories about humans being... Vern, thank you. Humans being awesome humans, patriotism, love of things that are awesome and amazing, and he made you kind of forget for just 5 minutes that everything's not bad. There is still good. There are still awesome people. There are still awesome things that happen, even though the news doesn't want you to think that anything is anything except doom and gloom.
Right.
Because you know what? There's a saying in the news industry, guys. If it bleeds, it leads. And the reason for that is they know that we're addicted to trying to just see what horrible thing happened because we want to know what's going on. We want to know what's going on, and we're concerned. And so they find all these muck-raking stories and they dredge it up. And you know what? I'm sick of it. There's enough of it. And so we reached out to you. Is that a bug attacking you?
It was an Asian beetle.
Okay.
Flew at my face.
It's good timing.
Yeah, right? Not really.
So we reached out to you guys and said, hey, I would love to be able to communicate these stories. I would love to be able to do this. However, I don't have a group of people like Paul Harvey did to research these things out. And I thought, well, wait a minute. What about you guys? Why not? So many of you know where there are great news stories that are absolutely awesome. exactly what Paul Harvey would like to hear. And so we've picked out 4 tonight. There is one in here that I hope I don't have to read it.
And
I might not be able to make it
I
through.
probably can read it.
You want to read?
Read.
You know what? I'll do it. I'll read it. Do you want to read? Why don't you read 1? Or no, I'll read 1 and then I will read 3. You read 2 and 4. Okay? The numbers are wrong because we pulled one. Remember?
I know. That's why I'm like 2 and 4. Which ones?
Okay.
So that I can pull them out of my...
So you're reading 3 and 5 as the numbers go.
3 and 5. Got it. I got it.
We pulled one out.
Got it.
So here we go. First things first. Let me see. I don't have any theme music yet, but you better believe it. If I can figure it out, we're going to have theme music. Oh, man. Where is... Oh, there it is. I want this to go away and that to pop up. You see, if I had a producer, not a problem. He would have done that. So here it is. All right, folks. This story was sent in by Allie, and I'm going to read some and paraphrase some. Allie sent this in. Police help an elderly man set up a TV after pulling him over. A man in Macomb County, Michigan, was having a bad day until local police officers pulled him over. The 79-year-old named David was pulled over September 30th. The Sterling Heights resident had been stopped for speeding, and police said he was upset and crying. And then the story goes on and says, Officer Kevin Coates sensed that the elderly man was having an unusually terrible day. There were several issues going on at his home, and David needed some assistance with one small task. He was having a really tough day dealing with a wife who was ill, and he had a son who was mentally ill. He had disabilities, and he was seeking some help. And the officer decided to go ahead and just give him a warning. And sure enough, these cops, okay, now we're paraphrasing. This police officer was a decent, awesome human. And after his shift was over, they went over there. I actually don't even know if he might have been on shift. I don't know. That part I didn't see. He went over there to the man's house with 2 other officers. 3 officers altogether went to this man's house and got his TV set up for him because he couldn't. He was maybe a little bit what I would call technologically challenged or chronologically challenged. But way to go, cops. There are enough people dogging on you guys, and we back the blue all the way.
Right.
And you know what? When I see folks doing the right thing like that, going and helping this guy, getting his TV set up because he was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed. And when I see stuff like that, it is absolutely worth saluting. And so, officers, we salute you. Thank you very, very, very much.
Yeah.
So, story number 1. Down. Mom. Here, you got to wait for me to change the graphic. Or no, actually, I would go and set up somebody's TV. Do you think I would?
Yeah.
I would hope.
Oh, yeah. I would go and set somebody's TV up.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be a really hard thing to be a police officer.
Right.
Especially now. But, I mean, can you imagine that all the horrible things that they see and for them not to get tainted by it? I mean, yeah, in any industry, in any people group, there are going to be people that mess up. No doubt there, guys.
Right.
But the large majority of police that I know and we're friends with, they're awesome people. And they do go the extra mile. And I think that it does bear worth mentioning that when you see somebody doing the right thing, say thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Say thank you. So,
yeah.
All right, story number 2. Let me change the graphic. And oh, there you go, Mom.
Okay. All right. This one was sent in by one of our favorite subs, Michigan Daffodil. Sheboygan puts up banners around the town. Sault Ste. Marie.
We don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
We both went back and forth.
Yeah. As well it was started in this town, was well met by the community and it grew from there. We got 420 in that particular city. I'm not going to continue to say it. Sorry. We're now in Rudyard, Pickford, St. Ignace, Grand Blanc, just signed with Cedarville and Hazel area. These folks are putting up banners of veterans with their pictures and what they've done, and this is a huge deal.
Yeah, love it.
Our town, not our town, but there's a town just north of us that we go to every once in a while, and they do it there as well.
It's awesome.
It's great. I love this. I absolutely love this.
And we've seen the way that the banners work is so cool because not only are they giving them like a text acknowledgement, they put their pictures on there.
Yeah, pictures, when they served, excuse me, if they're still living, if they're not, they put all of that stuff up there. It's great.
They've even I've seen them put some of the high school kids that have signed up that maybe have only been in for a little while.
Yep.
They'll put them up there.
Yep.
And I got to tell you what, if you don't appreciate your veterans, you really should reconsider, because without them, they're the last line of defense, folks. Without them, you have no freedom, none at all. And so the people that serve and our vets, they deserve our respect as well.
Yeah.
And so I say awesome and thank you. And we're very grateful.
Yeah.
Now here's the one. This one's rough.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to get to that one easily.
I can do it. I can do it. Let me go here. We're gonna go. You guys have probably seen this story because honestly, it's been a national story. But this story came in from Gregory Thomas, and I'm gonna paraphrase because I don't know if I can make it through any other way. Family had a dog that was not doing well. Mariana Wilson and Elijah Salzberger were heartbroken when they had to make the decision to put down their 11-year-old dog named Maggie who had cancer. And Maggie, they lived in Salt Lake City, by the way. And Maggie, their doggie, they loved that dog. And but they weren't just yet ready to let her go, because they wanted to do one more thing for Maggie, because Maggie loved the snow and loved being in the snow, but it was still summertime, and they had to make the decision, what do we do? Do we put the dog down, or do we try to figure something out? And that's when the Salt Lake City Ice Center stepped in, ice skates, hockey, figure skating, all that kind of stuff. They stepped in, they found out about it, and they scraped their the rink down and brought all the ice shavings over to the dog.
To Maggie.
So, a spokesperson said it's not always about skates and hockey pucks at County Ice Center, and that way the dog could have one last.
Yeah.
Romp
she had
snow.
Loads of fun playing in the snow, lots of her favorite meals, and
yeah. So I'm gonna move on because we've got one more story, and then I want to talk to you. So here we go.
Okay. This was sent in by Kelly Siebert.
This was not a news article.
This happened to her family.
First-hand account.
This happened to her family. Her grandparents lived in a small town in Iowa where they lived in their own home up until Grandpa was 102 and Grandma 96. One hot summer's day, Grandpa was out mowing his lawn. He was at least 100 years old at the time. The Schwann's man stopped to drop off the food items my grandma had ordered and mentioned to my grandma, Dorothy, Clarence shouldn't be out mowing the lawn in this heat. To which my grandma responded, I agree, so why don't you go out there and tell him to stop? A few minutes later, and you know what's funny? I can hear a grandma saying that. I can hear my grandma saying that.
I agree.
A few minutes later, the Schwann's man is out there mowing their lawn.
Hold on. You don't need the rest of that. We don't.
Okay.
Yeah. That's more personal.
I think that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Schwann's man cutting the grass.
Yeah.
And that's why we could have just said the story, and this came from Kelly Siebert. And we had many, many stories come in, guys, which was awesome. And I'm going to talk about that in a sec. We had to pick from them. So don't feel like just because your story didn't get read, it wasn't important or anything like that.
Right. We had to pick a few.
Right. But this story came in, and you know what? We could have just said it. But you know what? We're leaving that Schwann's logo up there, even though corporate had nothing to do with it. No. This was just a good guy being a good guy. And it just so happened that he worked for Schwann's.
Right.
It's not like Schwann's corporate was going, I wonder how we can get into the lawn mowing business. No. It was just a good guy being a good guy. Matter of fact, if it happened in today's world, he probably would get in trouble.
Probably.
Not to say Schwann's would do any of that. I'm saying that with the way everybody's so litigious. Yeah. Anyway, good news stories.
Yep.
So here's the scoop. Missed. Here's the scoop, guys. I would really like to keep doing this, and I'd like to keep doing this even more. If we could spend, maybe 4, 5, 6 stories at a time, make it a thing here, I think that would be a real blessing to people. And I think it's a blessing to me.
Yeah.
I hope it
is a blessing to me as well, to hear good things that are happening in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know what? If you would like to send in a story or a link, here's the thing. So a few of you guys were very, very cool and sent in links to videos, but the truth of the matter is I don't have time to read or watch videos.
No.
I'm either working in here or working outside or editing so that we can show you guys what's going on. And I'm sure that some of the stories you sent on video were awesome, but I don't have time to sit down and watch a half-hour video. So what I need is please send it into info, I-N-F-O. Oh, Christa's going to type it in. Dot bigfamilyhomestead @gmail.com. Info.bigfamilyhomestead @gmail.com. And what I need you to do is send me a link to an article, or like this lady did, she just typed it out. She typed out her account.
Her story. Yep.
That would be great. Yeah, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up, it does help us out. So it would be really great for you to send in those stories, send in those things. And we are going to take a little bit of Q&A because we got done with that section a little faster than I thought we would. So Q&A, guys. Let's see what's going on in your neck of the world.
We forgot one small little funny topic.
We did?
Yeah, we did. Right under the cookbook.
Oh, this was supposed to be in the updates section.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
This was really funny. I'm looking through YouTube, right? Just to see what's going on, and one of our old videos came up from 5 years ago. Okay. And I'm like, let's watch that. So the kids and I were watching it, and I'm watching my hair. I looked at my hair. I could not get over how dark my hair was only 5 years ago. Now, it doesn't really matter, but I just thought it was really funny how much my hair has gone gray in the last 5 years.
Yeah. And I've never had a beard until 2 years ago, year ago. I don't even know. A year ago?
I think it's a year ago.
Year ago?
Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe a year and a half.
So, okay. Yeah. Let's see. How are the bees? Well, we went through 2 swarms. So not good, to be honest.
No.
The bees are limping this year, and I don't think they're definitely not going to make it through the winter. No. I was in there, and the last time I checked, we didn't have any mite problem. No. But doggone it, if there's just we'll be doing good to start again next year. Keep after it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Keep after it.
And it's hard to keep bees alive in the wintertime up here.
What?
What in the world?
It's the dog and the
Holy
kids.
smokes. It's going to rip down the house.
Yeah.
This dog is nuts.
Yeah.
So how are the kids? How are Claire and the boys? They're doing great. No, we're not going to be grandparents again, as we know of right this second. We have 3.
Not unless somebody's holding out on us.
Not unless somebody's not letting us know what's going on. But the kids are doing great. Grandbabies are doing great. Elijah will be 1 coming up here soon.
You got to ignore it.
I know. It's just sounds like the house is being torn down. But yeah, Elijah will be 1 here at the end of the month, and he's starting to walk. Like he's pushing around a little walker thing, you know, one of those little walker toys, and he's took a couple of steps today. I'm super excited. Amelia's growing like a weed, and so is Colt, and Colt is just talking like crazy. It's so fun to watch them grow.
Mm-hmm.
Wish they were closer.
Yeah.
Trust me, wish they were closer.
Hey, Laura, I would not do that. Her question is, would you de-thaw meat to refreeze in food saver bags?
No.
I think that would be extraordinarily dangerous.
No, you cannot thaw meat and then refreeze it. If you're going to do that, thaw it
and
cook it. No, cook it, then refreeze it.
Yeah, you can do that.
You cannot refreeze raw meat.
Nope.
So yeah.
Yep. Oh, Nunzio.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So much.
That's very kind of you.
That is super sweet.
Are you done Christmas shopping with all the pending shortages? No.
No, we're not yet.
No. But we're
trying to find exactly more practical items for our kids, and not just junk. You know, we want to find things that are going to allow them to thrive in things that they love. You know, right now Caleb is all about Legos and stop animation movies.
He makes like the clay. It's like claymation, but with Legos.
And he is really loving that. So he's been doing that with him and a friend of his. So we're trying to, you know, foster those things.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? We are going to call it a night, guys. But I'll tell you what. Here's the scoop. Gonna play a song that's a scripture song, and if you like it, there's more of them over on our Patreon thing. And if you help us out there, it just helps me to keep going, keep making more of them. No, no. It just helps me to keep going. It justify the time and all that. It's not like at some point we'll put a CD together, but it won't probably be a physical CD just because they're really expensive to make. But that said, if you want to hang out, for a Bible devotion, we do one Monday through Friday, or rather I do one. Right. Monday through Friday. So starting tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. in the morning Central. And we keep it really light. We read scripture. We unpack the scripture. It's not any doom and gloom. We're not going to beat you up with a 2x4 that looks like a Bible. No. None of that. The people there are very gracious, and we know each other and care for each other. And so you're invited. It's on the Big Family Devotions channel. And so, we're good?
Yeah, I think so.
Alrighty, guys. So here, I got to get this ready to go so I can play you this song. So have a blessed evening. I'm trying to find the camera. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and have a blessed evening, okay?
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Make me to know your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths, lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the
salvation. For you I wait all the day long. Trust in you, let me not be put to shame. Let not my enemies exult over me. Indeed, none who wait for you shall be put to shame. Upright is, good and upright is, good and upright is the Lord. Good and upright is, good and upright is, good and upright is the Lord. Make me to know your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths, lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. For you I wait all the day long. Known to them his covenant. My eyes are ever, my eyes are ever, my eyes are ever to the Lord. My eyes are ever, my eyes are ever, my eyes are ever to the Lord. Make me to know your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths, lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. For you I wait all the day